Hey everybody. I was thinking the other day about this situation with COVID and how it applies to myself, my practice, but also how it applies to you. And I was thinking about the phrase, the world is my oyster, or the world is your oyster. Have you ever heard that phrase before? Yeah, it's used a lot, and if I'm not mistaken, oysters get a little irritation from a piece of sand, and that irritation and the reaction of the clam is to, or the oyster is to make the pearl. And so I was thinking about that when it comes to my children recently, because their entire school system, the classes have been canceled, and my son is a senior, and I'll just focus in on him for right now. To have the end of his senior year pretty much stolen away by COVID has created a bit of a irritation in that situation. I know that he would much rather be with his friends, be running track and creating lots of lifetime memories the end of his senior year. But that's not going to happen. He's distance learning, as many students out there are, and making the best of it. But we've been talking about it quite a bit, and I definitely think that he and my daughter, who's a junior in high school, they're just making the best of it and trying to do what they can to cobble out a sense of normalcy. And that possibilities of all of their end of school year festivities and fun and memories have just vanished. So this problem in the middle of their lives, as they're preparing to launch off to college and begin their lives, have been interrupted with this problem of COVID. And I think that talking to them has been really enlightening to myself and my wife, and really having a great conversation with them. We were having dinner together, as we do every night, and talking about the situation, and they were being very upbeat about it, but at the same time lamenting a little bit about the fact that they don't get to see their friends. Their normal pattern of life is interrupted, and we now have to look forward to making the best of it. And part of that, making the best of it, is staying in touch with their friends, trying to be as social as they can. And part of that in our house is the use of Wi-Fi, and that has gone up tremendously, as I'm sure it has in a lot of your households too. So, and that's just becoming a normal part of life that my wife and I were not really prepared for. So it's something that we had to be open to learning about and having a conversation with our kids about that lifeline to their friends and their social interactions with them. And so that was a little bit of a problem for us, and that we've had to overcome with this situation. And it really made me realize that these conversations were opening up an opportunity for us to get to know our kids better, for our kids to get to know us better, and looking forward to an opportunity to have something good come out of it in the future. Now, this good part in the future is going to, I believe, make champions out of my children and out of you and your children and your family and friends. Because when it comes down to it, we're all meeting challenges every day in our lives. I've had a huge challenge in my life I never saw coming, and that is that my practice is closed, and I don't get to see my patients, I don't get to earn a living, I don't get to serve people as I've been serving people for over 20 years now. So that's a challenge for me, a challenge for my kids, as we've talked about, is the interruption of their education, their schooling, and school looks very different. But I know that in the end, we will all benefit in some way, shape, or form from what this challenge has presented to us. Let's all go out there and, at the risk of being trite, make a pearl out of this irritation that has worked its way into our lives, like having a rock in your shoe. How could that possibly be a good thing? But let's make it a good thing. Let's go out there together and focus on the benefit that we can find, focus on the growth that we can have, and really bring joy to each other's lives in our own small ways, that we can make sure that people around us feel loved and supported, and that we have their backs, and we will continue to strive forward. And I know that our communities and families and culture will be the better for it in the end, because we will learn through difficulty and adversity. We will survive and thrive. All right, let's go.